Galnet News Digest, 10th of January 3305. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, the disappearing actress. Thyroid Freeze Ray fears. Furthest rat rescue underway. Distant hope. The disappearing actress. Consuela Knight is reported as missing after her luxury yacht arrived at an undisclosed starport with no one on board. The ship apparently stopped at the station as expected, but there was no further indication of activity. Security services sent to investigate report that there was no sign of any of the 5 crew members, who, according to the onboard computer, seemed to have all vanished simultaneously on or about the time of their last hyperspace jump. All of the escape pods were found to be present and in good working order. There were signs of recent activity, including half-eaten meals and handheld devices seemingly dropped on the floor. Among the most lurid speculation is that the Thargoids, who seem to like collecting humans, might have discovered a way to remove people from a ship while it's travelling through the hyperspace tunnel. Independent newsfeed The Sovereign took a cheerful stance, stating that there was no reason to believe there were any survivors. Consuela Knight was on a break from publicising her new holovid, Revenge of the Mary Celeste. Thargoid Freeze Ray fears. There's been concern over a new kind of Thargoid shutdown field over the past few weeks. Unlike the previous version of the field, this new one gives no warning and no opportunity to fire a neutraliser. Its effect is also potentially devastating. All the ship controls of an affected ship lock up, and it appears to the occupant as if time is standing still. The effect can last for a few seconds up to perhaps a minute, during which the pilot has no control and sees only a frozen view of space at the moment the field struck. When the effects of the ray subside, the pilot regains full control, and unless the ship was already in peril, there's no obvious damage. There's also no sign of Thargoids, which suggests that the field is being deployed at long range. The potential for the complete eradication of the human fleet is a clear and present danger, unless a countermeasure for the Thargoid Freeze Ray can be developed. Chief Research Scientist Commander Adam Woods is believed to be studying footage from 35 years ago, in search of a solution. Furthest rat rescue underway. You may think it's a long way to Hutton Orbital, but that's just peanuts to Commander Diluvian Ray's cruise, who is currently contemplating just how empty space is, from a stationary point 65,788 light-years from Sol. The enterprising commander decided that it would be a good idea to supercruise away from Semiotis Beacon, the furthest reachable star from Sol, and keep doing so for a long time. A very long time. After 600 hours of flying in a straight line, 141 light-years from the star, he was ready to return triumphant to civilization to claim his award as the most distant person in the galaxy, when his fuel gauge suddenly lurched downwards by a notch, and he found himself stranded with insufficient fuel to jump out or to return to the star. This was back on the 25th of November 3304. Commander Cruz initially decided to accept his fate, but from the 14th of December he's been broadcasting occasional appeals that if anyone happens to be passing, could they please bring 3 tons of fuel? Finally, on the 4th of January, after receiving an official request for assistance, Commander Highway Warrior of the Fuel Rats decided to mount a rescue attempt together with 4 other fuel rats. A great deal of planning has gone into the attempt, with 3 ships refuelling the others along the way, and 2 rat ships destined to complete the journey and deliver the necessary 3 tons of fuel. The 5 ships will between them set out with more than 4,000 tons of fuel. Due to the need for the cruise to rest, the supercruise journey is likely to take more than a month to complete. The Pilots Federation is reported to be considering establishing a tourist beacon at the location of the rescue, because lots of VIPs are likely to want to see for themselves. Distant Hope. With nearly 10,000 commanders due to set off towards Beagle Point on Sunday, there's been some positive news about the station that's to be established near the centre of the galaxy. Building the station will require raw materials to be mined, and that means explorers taking mining equipment. The station will be built fairly close to the bubble and will then be flown to its final location. The good news is that it'll have outfitting facilities, which means that explorers can store their mining equipment at the end of the first community goal, and outfit with new mining equipment for the second community goal when they arrive at the new station's location. So there'll be no need to lug a load of equipment halfway across the galaxy. In related news, the planned mass jump of 10,000 commanders on Sunday night will be commemorated by the establishment of a mining settlement called Dav's Despair. There will be no materials available at this settlement, but commanders who venture there will be able to admire the pile of empty whiskey bottles outside the habitation module. And if they listen very carefully, they might just be able to hear someone inside, rocking back and forth and muttering curses under his breath. And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.